Howdy, everybody. This is David Mossberg and Levi Mossberg here with the $100,000 challenge. We are just finishing up week 3, so week 3.5. We're 26 days into the program, and we've got 180 days to try and get to $100,000 profit. Right now, if you're following along, we've uploaded a couple pictures of our bank account to show you we're just over $3,000 so far. So in less than the first month, we've generated just over $3,000. I'm hoping to close that out close to $5,000 by Monday or Tuesday. However, we'll have to wait for the like credit cards or ACH payments to process. So I might not make it through the 30th or 31st. Is there 31 days in July? Yeah. Okay, 31 days in July. So if we get the extra day, hopefully we'll clear a couple of accounts and get a couple more signed up and actually ready to go. So we've done a bunch of demos. We've got about 5 or 6 proposals still hanging out there. We've got a few more discovery sessions, and we're really starting to gain some traction and feel more comfortable in our ability to do quality discovery and then deliver in a faster pace. So Levi's upgraded some of his tools. I've been able to start to upgrade some of my conversations so that I can really get to the heart of the things that the people need. So as Levi's doing his first draft, it's much more complete because I've been able to provide better data to him. So after just 26 days, we're underway. We're not quite where I was hoping we would be yet, but things happen. And so we had to do some retooling over the last couple weeks and learn some lessons on this business that we've never been in before. So we're learning as fast as we possibly can, and in the meantime, continuing to run our other companies. And so that's probably another part of the barrier. If all we did was this, then we'd probably be able to do more production. But in the meantime, we've got our regular bills to pay, in addition to just trying to get us a pool and some of those fun things that we're after. So how are you feeling after a few weeks, Levi?
Good. I mean, I think like you said, we're getting more and more confident. So I think as the weeks go on, it's just going to get better and better.
Yep. What are some of the workflow changes you needed to make in order to keep up with the inflow of new leads and kind of be able to, I guess, perform and help things to work?
Yeah, I think setting up an actual process to how we build things out, and then documenting each step before it starts getting to be built, because I think it's very easy to get started on a project and then the phone rings and then you forget where you're at. And so I think getting our own CRM set up and then getting our own project management tool like ClickUp set up as well.
Right, makes sense. It's kind of funny, and I think this happens in most of our lives, right? We're really good at helping people with their problems, but not as good with helping ourselves with our own problems. So I find that too. I've been teaching financial literacy for households for a long time, and I catch myself from time to time just not performing at my own home. Like, man, what am I doing? I'm a horrible example sometimes, and then I have to get back on track and do the right thing. So I certainly understand that, and I'm side by side with you on having to do that. And I think we're also learning some of the things that are important. Like, we build out some of the tools, like the CRM is a great example, where I'm just used to keeping track of those things without a tool like that. But one of the primary things that we're selling is the CRM tools and capabilities, but we're not using our own. So going back in and actually using our own. In fact, Levi, before this video, was just actually training me on our CRM a little bit so I can go in and update as people move into the contract phase and then into the closing phase. And so then he's aware, the team's aware, productivity begins, everything starts to work out the way it was intended to, or the thought process was. So that's really good. I think as we go as well, one of the things that we're also learning is our sweet spots. I think as we're starting to understand what people are responding the most to, we're able to then build better systems just around that one offering. And I think that you'll hear a lot of work out there right now. I listen to a bunch of different podcasters, a bunch of different educators on YouTube and other places. And one of the common things is that they talk about getting really good at one thing. And so I think as we go, we're kind of broadcasting a few different concepts simply so that we can go ahead and find out what the marketplace is willing to pay for and what the value is for those things. And then we have to reel it back in and say, okay, we found it. The fish are biting on this bait. So let's go ahead and enhance our systems to multiply the frequency at which we can deliver that particular thing so we can catch more fish. And so we're going back, we're retooling our lures, and we're going back and saying, okay, we're really good at delivering this, and we're really fast at delivering it. And so I think that we found a couple of common things that people are really liking and really after. So what's been your best experience so far with client delivery?
I think I had a conversation with one client, and she basically was saying, this was kind of too fast. And so she was kind of telling me like, hey, maybe next time you do this for somebody, like wait a couple days at least, don't give it to them in 24 hours because you're going to get yourself in trouble with unrealistic expectations. So it was cool to get that feedback, but also valuable too, because I think you can get in trouble trying to pump things out too quick.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think one of the other things that I'm learning as well is, although we're dealing with a lot of AI tools or computer systematic tools to replicate work, we still have to hold their hands a little bit. So one of the things that we just added is a better onboarding process. Instead of just simply delivering our AI agent or whatever it is that we're giving them for the value they're paying us and saying, hey, here's your agent, here's a couple of rules on how to use it, have fun. It's now like, okay, let's have a couple of meetings. Let's meet with your staff if they're going to be involved. Let's go ahead and get more integrated with you so that we can make sure you're building the habits to get the biggest value. Because again, one of our main objectives is monthly recurring revenue. In fact, just today I was asking Levi as we're going through our website, if on the dashboard page where you can see everything that we're doing at casperworkflows.com, you can go to the $100,000 challenge tab at the top, and then you'll see our dashboard, how much money we made and all that. I've just asked him to add an MRR and an ARR part to the dashboard so you can see our monthly recurring revenue and annual recurring revenue, which is just a multiplier of the monthly. But that simply helps everybody to understand that the true value in what we're doing is not just the cash we receive today, but the multiplier on that cash. And so if we built $3,000 in the first month and we have 5 more months that we're going to recur that revenue, that really means we're $18,000 in there, 6 months times 3,000. That's where we start to build a stout company that's going to last the test of time, because now we have predictable incomes. We're even going to be able to go back, and we're already starting to look at this. One of our value adds as a service provider is going back and creating enhancements so that everyone continues to get upgrades to what it is they're buying, most of which will be at no cost to them. It's just things that we're learning to deliver for other people using similar services. And so we're going back and saying, hey, we can upgrade your service for free. Here's a new tool for you to use. And they're loving that so far. And we're just going ahead because I think just as hard as it is to start a business, get new clients who don't know your reputation for delivery yet, it's really hard to keep them. And so if you're not engaging with clients and you're expecting to have monthly recurring revenue, we need to keep them engaged. We need to make sure they're using it. So one of the other things Levi built out is a system that is tracking whether or not they're using the system that we've delivered to them. So if they're not using it, we can get some warning signs and say, hey, this person is not using it. If they're not using it and they're not like on vacation or something, we know we have an at-risk client. So we want to re-engage. I've had a couple people share with me the philosophy of like what Gold's Gym used to sell. Hey, get a bunch of people in here super cheap, and then they'll just keep paying whether or not they use the facility because it's so inconsequential. I don't believe in that. I don't think it's good business to go ahead and build something that you expect people not to use and charge them over and over again for it. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't sit well with me. So I would hope no one else would do the same with me. In the meantime, we need to get back out there and say, okay, if we're not checking on our clients who are paying us every month while we're so busy trying to grow the company, we're missing a huge opportunity, not only to re-engage and make sure they stay with us, but also for opportunities to potentially upgrade and get referrals. So we're at the stage now where we actually have 2 of the clients who have signed on with us already referring other people. The person that Levi was talking about the speed of delivery on is like so wowed. And we're very fortunate with that person. Unfortunate for her, but fortunate for us she had someone provide for her the same service and not deliver. So she was paying for something. It took them forever to get off the starting blocks. They really didn't deliver what she was expecting. They were still working on it. And it sounds like they were learning just much slower than we were. And so our ability to deliver for her became a huge win because she was expecting a month build out and it took us 3 days. And so for us to be able to deliver something that fast, deliver it with quality, have a quality onboarding session with her and do those things really made a huge impact in our reputation with her, to the point she's like, I need you to meet a couple of my friends. And so that's really pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. What are your big plans for this week, Levi? What enhancements are you going to bring to the team, and what do we got going on?
We just recently rolled out business card integration. So,
very cool.
Being able to
We're talking about that.
snap a picture and send it to your agent, and it automatically enrolls them in your CRM for you. I think
Love that.
outside of that, it's just going to be a lot more of the proactive stuff. We've already started training some of the agents to start daydreaming about what other features they can add for the clients, because the agent is the one that's seeing all the use. So
That's cool.
getting them to kind of daydream and find gaps that we can't find, or they'll find a lot faster, I think is the next big win.
That's pretty cool to think that the agent, because it's seeing how it's interacting, is able to intuitively start to come back and say, hey, it keeps requesting this over and over again, or there's a mistake happening here that we need to fix, and able to work with our lead agent, our director of operations, Otto, who goes back to the drawing board and says, I can help you fix that, or I have to escalate that to Levi, our chief executive officer / chief technology officer, to go back and actually get his brain in there and direct the team to be able to do those things. And by the team, guys, we're talking about AI agents. And so we built some to help us with our company so that they can help our clients with their companies and continuously enhance themselves. So one of the other things I know I'm on a continuous drive for is education. So it's real important to me, and I was just speaking with someone this weekend about this. If you truly want to be intentional about building something like this, then you need to be as intentional as you possibly can with your phone and your calendar. And what I mean by that is, I was just looking at someone's calendar this last week because she was complaining she just doesn't seem to have time to get the things done that are most important in her business. And so I was like, okay, well, show me your calendar. And everything was very general on her calendar except for specific appointments that other people were driving. Like if Levi made an appointment with me, he would say, okay, I'm good at this time, we're good at this time. So we mutually agree to have an appointment, and Levi is on my schedule for that time and day. But what she didn't have on there was any strategic work that she was going to be doing with any level of specificity, right? So I pulled out her calendar and said, okay, if we dedicate that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is one of the things I'm doing, 3 days a week, I am during my run in the morning listening to improving AI videos, and one of the things that I'm searching for is current videos. I do not want to watch an AI video about ChatGPT from a year and a half ago because it's not relevant today, right? So I've got about a half a dozen different people I'm following. I'm very intentional Monday, Wednesday, Friday, listening to a half an hour to an hour of YouTube videos, watching things, saving things, downloading things, and reusing them so that I can go back and say, hey, I need to implement something on this, and I'm using my calendar 100% of the time. I'll lay this on you guys now because I think it's a good time to do it. But I have given up on the to-do list philosophy. I think a lot of people, if I ask them how they organize their day, they say, well, they have this ongoing to-do list, and I go see it, and I ask them to see the last 3 days, or don't throw out yesterday's to-do list, right? And typically when I look at 3 to 5 days of a to-do list, 90% of it is just the same. It's moving it from this day to that day, and they've crossed off one thing or crossed off two things. And I say that's a horrible way to operate, because one of the things that happens when you do that is once you've written it down, your memory stores it better than if you simply just heard it. So we see it on the paper, we've written it down ourselves, it's embedded in our memory, and so all of a sudden, everything on our to-do list acts like a tab that's open on your computer. And for those of you who know anything about the old history of computers, or RAM, random access memory, the more things you have the computer doing at one time, the slower it will operate. Well, guess what, guys? That is modeled after our brain. And if you have all of this junk sitting in your head, all these tabs open in your brain will move slower and produce a lower quality product over time. So with that being said, what I've done in order to eliminate the to-do list concept is everything at the end of the day. Sometimes I just need to make notes because I'm in a meeting and I think it's rude to be typing the entire time you're at a meeting. And so for that reason, I might make a couple of manual notes, but at the end of every day, everything that's on that notepad for my to-do list goes into my calendar, even if it's a 15 or 5-minute task. In fact, like tomorrow, I know I have 3 tasks to just make phone calls. I've got to make a doctor's appointment for my mother. I've got to do a couple things like that. And if it's not in a slot on my calendar, then it's not going to get done, most likely. And of course, there are in-demand things. If I'm on the phone with a client and he needs something and I can do it at that moment, I'm going to do it at that moment, right? If not, it goes on my calendar for a future moment. And the other thing is, when I look at that list, I'm making decisions. I'm saying, I know I wrote that down, but I don't need to do that. Levi needs to do that, or someone else on my team needs to do that, or something needs to happen. The other thing is, if I see the same thing popping up over and over again, I'm like, okay, I either need to make sure my assistant, my human assistant can help with that, or I need an agent to help with that, or I need to just simply say, you know what, I'm no longer going to be doing that thing because it's taking up too much of my time. And if I don't see it on my calendar, it's really hard to calculate the actual time things are taking. And so I highly recommend you take your to-do list tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Monday morning. Take your to-do list, put everything that's on your to-do list either on the calendar or in the trash, and then throw it away and never do another to-do list. Your calendar should be your to-do list. It should dictate your time. You should have negotiable and non-negotiables. And when you bump up against something where something urgent has to happen, you don't just forget the things that you thought were important for yourself to move your company, move your dreams forward. You have to move them just like you would another appointment. I had an appointment last week. The poor lady got food poisoning. She was extremely courteous. She shot me a text. Hey, I've got to move our appointment. I got some food poisoning. And she didn't just say, well, I'm not going to show up, which is what we do for ourselves all the time. So we really need to stretch that out and say, okay, number 1, to-do lists are old news. Number 2, my to-do list should be my calendar. My calendar should be my to-do list. Number 3, I am in control of my calendar. Please be in control of your calendar. Stop giving away your dreams to someone else who all you're doing is helping them build their dream, right? So don't disregard yourself for other people's priorities. If indeed you need to get some work done, I got to get some work done sometimes, most of the time. I put it in a priority and I get things done, but I don't forget the strategic things I need to do so that I can grow my business and get a pool or whatever it is that I want to do with it, right? And so as you do that, I would definitely highly recommend that this would be a great tidbit for you to take away this week as you're growing your businesses, as you're starting to find your way to your dream, your action steps to your dream, and don't let somebody else dictate what's important in your time. So with that being said, we don't have a whole lot more, but we will be doing some weekly, some updates throughout the week here. We're doing some content recording over the next day or two. And then Levi and I are going to be taking a little bit of time off towards the end of the week, although we'll do some recording and show you what's going on with that. We're going up to see a concert as a family together up in Dallas, Texas. And so we'll have some fun with that. We'll get away for a little bit. We'll download a little bit, but we'll also be able to get some work done too. So looking forward to that. And anything else you have to add for the group for this week, Levi?
No, just like normal. Just get out there and start doing something.
Yeah. Get started with whatever it is that's on your dreams so that you can make it happen. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the $100,000 challenge.